Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Omni viewer, and this time I'm coming to you with news about Godzilla King of Monsters, the third movie in what we are apparently calling the Monsterverse, which so far consists of 2014's Godzilla and Kong Skull Island. Now, some of you may recall that Gareth Edwards is not directing Godzilla King of Monsters. That announcement was made sometime towards the end of production of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And since then, it's been up in the air as to exactly who the director will be. Well, now we know. Michael Dougherty, who is also co-writing the movie. This will only be Dougherty's third major directorial effort, the other two being Trick or Treat and Krampus, a horror anthology film and a horror holiday comedy film, respectively. Dougherty is also a writer who not only wrote those two films, but also had co-writing credits on such movies as X2, X-Men United, X-Men Apocalypse, and Superman Returns. Though how much of his script made the final cut of each film is anyone's guess. Now, I will be upfront with you guys, I have not seen either Trick or Treat or Krampus as yet. So, hearing this announcement doesn't necessarily have the same impact it might if I had. I'm not thinking, oh yeah, he's great, he knows where to place the camera and get the most out of his actors, because I haven't seen the movie, so I don't really know if that's the case or not. I've seen reviews of both movies, and the general consensus appears to be, among fans at least, that he's good at it. And considering how horror fans are really difficult to please sometimes, I think that is saying something. I mean, let's face it, horror movies set at Christmas are almost as common as regular Christmas movies these days, so for one of them to actually stand out from the crowd is pretty significant in its own right. But maybe there is something I can glean from this in as far as what this choice might say about the direction Godzilla King of Monsters is going. Like I said, the two previous films Dougherty has directed have both been horror movies. That makes me wonder if perhaps Godzilla King of Monsters is going in a more horror movie themed direction. There are only two movies in the Monsterverse so far, one of which hasn't even been released yet as of this recording, but they both appear to be in very different genres. Godzilla is basically a disaster movie, in the same vein as The Towering Inferno or Twister or one of those kinds of films. It's very heavy on the natural disaster angle. Kong Skull Island seems to be aiming more for the realm of the war movie, especially in regards to the Vietnam War. In a previous video, I noted a couple of homages to, of all films, Apocalypse Now. Of course, kaiju movies venturing into different genres isn't necessarily a new thing. Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster is an espionage film. Its direct sequel, Invasion of Astro Monster, or Godzilla vs. Monster Zero as it's known here in the States, is an alien invasion film. The idea of kaiju eiga venturing into different genres isn't necessarily that crazy, is what I'm saying. So, could it be possible that Godzilla King of Monsters is going to be a horror movie? It may not be such a stretch. The original Godzilla film from 1954 was styled as a horror movie, and yeah, it can be pretty intense at times. Horror elements also work their way into The Return of Godzilla, aka Godzilla 1985, and into Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. And to be perfectly honest, Kaiju Eiga has its roots in the Cthulhu mythos. The Call of Cthulhu is basically a kaiju story. Way before kaiju even existed, Cthulhu is described as being miles tall and being basically a giant monster. I remember a lot of people thinking that the trailers for 2014's Godzilla made it look like it was going to be a Lovecraftian film, only for it to turn out not to be. Well, maybe this time you'll get your wish. Maybe Godzilla King of Monsters is going to be a more Lovecraftian kind of horror movie. And considering both Mothra and King Ghidorah are in the mix, what better opportunity would there be to go full Lovecraft? Of course, it's also possible that Dougherty is taking this movie to get away from directing horror. perhaps he's got something else in mind. I don't know. Either way, we officially have a director now. Hopefully that means they'll get the ball rolling on this movie. Just thought you guys would like to know. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer, signing off.